welcome back to Gotti's Garage. In this video, I'm going to explain over the things I've been doing on this car. First of all, we got a few more goodies that have been installed on this car, and a few more things that have been completed. And then we'll probably go for a little cruise afterwards. It seems to be running better. I fixed an oil leak. I do want to change a couple things though. I made a rookie mistake, and I read the forms and I was excited and I didn't think. So I put which I'll explain in a little bit. I got a new temperature sensor. It's an inline for a hose, and I put that in the bottom, which feeds the engine. So essentially it is picking up water that has already been sitting in the radiator and then gets pumped through when a thermostat opens. So I'm getting like 140, 160 degrees instead of the actual car temperature. So I'm going to try to take the little T-fitting out that's inside of the block where the original gauge sensor goes. My gauges don't work. So I bought the inline thing, and like I said, I was just too excited. I wasn't thinking, and I possibly made the wrong mistake. So, well, possibly I did make the wrong mistake. But anyway, so I'm going to try to take that T-fitting out. I have an adapter for it. I'm going to try putting it right in the block and seeing if it will actually read a accurate, temp. And then I'll probably just put a bolt in the inline one and just keep that in there for now because I don't have another lower radiator hose to replace that one. But yeah, let me show you guys, like, I guess the gauge. Okay, so we're sitting in the car now. Here's my temporary gauge setup. Like I said, it was over here. Kind of liked it better over here because I could see it on the other side of the steering wheel. Like, this is like eye level, so that's always pretty nice. But I started gutting this out. So I gut this one out, and then I took the clock out. And what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna buy some like 1/4 inch. Actually, 1/4 inch is way too thick, so we're probably gonna be going with like 1/8 inch or 1/16 ABS plastic from Amazon. We're gonna cut it to size, glue it, drill some 52mm holes in there. So then right here we're gonna do both sides. So right here I have room for 4 gauges. Here's the 2 I have right now. We got the boost controller, we got the water temperature sensor gauge, both from Glow Shift. I'm gonna be ordering a fuel or oil pressure sensor from Glow Shift, hopefully this week. That way we can kind of get a reading on oil pressure as well, because I have an oil leak and I was a couple quarts low in oil. I wasn't sure what was coming from. So yesterday, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I put little behind the stuff scenes on Instagram so you guys can stay updated with what I do and what I did. So I suggest that you guys go to my Instagram. I changed the name. It's now called _Gotti's_garage. You guys can go to that, follow me, and you'll see tons of updates pretty much almost every single day on this car. I'll be posting some today as well for what we're doing in this video. But yeah, I had a really bad oil leak, and it was coming all around the valve cover gasket. And I bought the Ford Ranger valve cover gasket with the steel inserts, reusable and all that stuff. I bought that, and I still get oil coming through it. And I found out the culprit was because on the valve cover filter, like the ventilation, I put it in a pop bottle, not really thinking, because I was trying to figure out, I just wanted to go drive the car and stuff. I'm a very impatient person. Should be called Impatient Garage or something. But yeah, so I put it in a pop bottle, but I completely sealed it. So essentially what it did was block off that vent, and it started blowing through the gasket. Like, I'm assuming so, unless there's a leak somewhere. So yesterday I pulled the whole top of the engine off, the lower and upper, or the upper intake. I took that off, throttle body, all that stuff, so I can get the valve cover off. Pulled the valve cover off, brake cleaned all around it, scraped any like material, anything, made it very, very clean, cleaner than I originally put it back together, which could have been a culprit too. Then I bought some make yourself gasket RTV, so it doesn't harden, it squishes and stuff. I put that all on the bottom of there, and then I put the new gasket on. Now there's only a slight little leak, but it's still leaking and still annoying. So yeah, I'm gonna have to figure some stuff out, get a catch can, all that stuff. But anyways, here is my new water temperature sensor. Now that is reading the water that's in the feed hose essentially. So it does work, it warms up and stuff. I could tell, you know, with the fan on, it gets, you know, colder and stuff like that, but it's not reading accurate temperature, and I don't want that, because if I take this to a drift event or anything like that, I got to know what the water in the head is actually reading, because I don't want to be blowing a head gasket or, you know, melting a head or anything like that. So we're going to try changing that today, see if we can get that to work. I bought a bunch of thread sealer and all that stuff. So but yeah, the car starts right up. My exhaust broke again. It's under here. The bolts fell out. I'm guessing the bolts fell out because I took it down this dirt road that was impassable. And if you guys don't know what that means that the county just doesn't take care of the road because nobody lives on the road. So there's a lot of sandy ruts and stuff, and my car almost got stuck. So I was in second gear, like full boost, going through this shit like sideways and stuff like that, and it was just dragging the ground, and it kind of ripped my exhaust up a little bit. So car's a little bit louder, but I don't know. I think the gauge is going to look really clean here. Get all this cleaned up better. But yeah, also on this car, we installed a new overflow tank. I gotta make another bracket for it, but I just have a little like bracket with like a, I don't know, 140-degree angle on there, so I can kind of line up. It's pretty cool because everything's universal. This can go to this side, stuff like that. I'll put a link in the description for that. It was pretty cheap. And then, as you can tell, a lot of the oil is cleaned up. So before I replace this gasket, there's oil all over here. You can tell on that, and you know, the manifold, there's oil everywhere. But right now, it is just seeping right around here. So I'm not sure why that is. I'm gonna try to replace the gasket and see how that goes. But other than that, I believe that's all I've really done to it, except for the fuel cell. We finished the fuel cell, and I'll show you that here in a second. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys. The fuel cell finally came in. It was only 4 days late. It's a mess back here. But we got the fuel cell in. I took the original carpet and I cut a hole that matches the fuel cell, put it in there to give it more of a cleaner look. When I first got the fuel cell, I didn't have the right fitting for the return line, so I kind of just plugged it with this. I just stuck the return line inside of it. But now you can pull this carpet up. So we have both the supply and the return going into the bottom of the tank. Both of these are sealed. This cap is vented for a certain way. This fuel system is supposed to hold pressure, and it does hold pressure now. So it runs great, starts up and everything like that. I do need to buy a, what is it called? It's a little thing that doesn't allow fuel to go backwards, because sometimes it does have a hard startup. So I'm guessing that would solve that. And I also need to get a fuel pressure gauge to go into the car so I can monitor that as well. But yeah, that's what's all been done to the car. The car runs and drives great. You know, I've been playing around in the rain and stuff, you know, doing donuts and drifting it, and well, as best as I can with the open diff. After the 21st, so I don't know if it's gonna be like maybe the 22nd, 23rd, I don't know, but we are gonna be throwing this thing on a dyno. We're gonna get 3 poles. So we get 3 poles, but we're also going to be able to get a reading on the air-fuel ratio, so we can kind of tell what this car is doing for, like, you know, that mixture-wise. And then we can see what the numbers are for horsepower and torque and stuff. So that will be fun. That's going to be kind of a long journey, but I'm pretty excited for the video for that. So we're just trying to button up a little bit of things before we go on the dyno. One was a huge oil leak, which I believe I got fixed. And I buffed and polished the car with a 1-year ceramic coating I put on there too. As you can see, like, water's just beading and falling off. When you drive, it just, like, you know, comes right off. It's crazy. I still have to do this side yet. And I didn't do the hatch either because we are going to be replacing this hatch. Because as you can see, you still have no window. So, once we get that replaced, everything, this car is going to look pretty much brand new. My brake lights are not working now. I had one that was working over here, but it decided to stop working, so I got to track down that wire or run a new wire and try to figure it out. I got to see if there's power at the brake switch first. I think that's like the best go-to on that. But I have a running light back here. This whole thing back here, it's all unplugged. The whole bulb holder is shot on this side. It's getting power at the switch, or at the, you know, clip where the wires are. It's getting power for that. But how the bulb holder thing works, it uses like current, like metal, instead of wires. It uses the body to get power, and as you can tell, it's pretty like rusted down here, corroded and all that stuff. The, you know, those are just terrible looking. And so this thing's junk. $20 from Jeff at Midwest Merkur Parts. So that way we'll have tail lights and then brake lights. Then we can actually take it on the street and stuff. So as of right now, I've kind of been driving it a little like low key. So also, while editing this, I failed to mention that the car is completely and fully legal. It doesn't have a license plate because I only got a 60-day temporary plate just to see how the car reacts and performs, and not to waste a bunch of money. So sorry about the echo. This speaker really sucks. Alright guys, so I got this little adapter right here. I actually got this before the same day that inline coolant sensor location spot came in, so I decided to use that instead. But this is going to go in the side of the block where that little T-fitting goes, which I'll show you here in a second. And then I got this little bolt block off thingy that's actually going to go into the glow shift inline coolant spot. That way we can plug that off without having to get a new radiator hose. Then we can use this and plug the sensor in this in the side of the block so we can get an actual head temperature. So we'll go ahead and work on that, and I'll show you, you know, the result. All right guys, so I got that one in. Let's see if you guys can see it. So I got that one in, and then I got that one in down there too. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's right there underneath this sensor. It's right down there. So I got that one in, but it's not reading too high. I just took it around the block and, you know, did donut and stuff. And it's only reading 118 after driving around for a while. So that can't be right. And then I started looking at the thermostat, and you can see it's bubbling. So I'm wondering if the thermostat is stuck shut. And if that's the case, then I wonder if I let this thing cool down, just remove the thermostat and see if we can get a good reading. That way I can order a thermostat but still drive it. I have the electric fan on all the time, so it should be all right. Yeah, I don't know. So let's just wait for this thing to cool down, then I'll take that thermostat housing out. I don't know if you can see all that smoke or hear it, but yeah, I'm having an issue with the cooling system. So it ran at good temps and everything, but it feels like it's just building up too much pressure, and that could be because I'm using like the finest H2O instead of coolant, or putting water wetter in there, which I might have to go do. But yeah, it's like if I have any coolant in this expansion tank, it seems like it's too much, and then it builds up pressure, and it blew out that little homemade seal that I made right there on the thermostat housing. But the temperatures inside the head aren't getting very hot. They're about 160. So I don't know if I need to vent this or what I have to do. Cause I just went and kind of romped it a little bit. Not very much oil came out, you know, not like it was before. So I think I pretty much fixed that problem. I know I have to get a better gasket because it's still leaking, but not as much as it was. It was just spraying oil out. But now I guess I have to worry about this little fuel system right here because I don't really understand what is going on. And I can't take it to a track or anything like that, or even the dyno, because I don't want it overheating or anything. But yeah, so that little thing is completely empty. This tank is pretty much empty. I shut it off, and it like literally it boiled out. So it was pushing like boiling water through here, which water boils, I don't know, I gotta look that up actually, I don't really remember. So maybe it could be the water issue, but I don't really know what's going on. There's no oil or no water in the oil. So Head gasket should be fine. I did find out I had it running about 19 pounds of boost, and this is a small VAM, and it was popping really bad, so I had to turn it down. I turned it all the way down to 10, and I think we're gonna let it cool down. I'm gonna check the spark plugs to see if they're running rich or not. I don't think it's blowing spark out, but I do got this little like idling hip layer. What do you want to call it? It pops a little bit. It sounds maybe like it's missing. I'm not sure. I might put an LS coil in there. I think that's a thing, and I have a bunch of them, so I might do that later on. I just have to go downstate and get them, but I don't know. I really don't know. So I'm gonna let it cool down for a little bit, give it a break, check the fuel because I don't have a gauge or anything. So I guess I'll show you guys that too. So I don't know if you can see in there, but it's probably about a half a tank of fuel in there. It's still above the foam. And I mean, it has fuel. I don't really know. I'm not sure what this car's problem is. Let's see the temp gauge. See, it's at 152 now. I guess I'll set you guys up on the camera mount. We'll go for a quick little drive. I'll try thrashing it a little bit and see if what it does. If it blows up, whatever, you know. But I don't think it's going to. I turned the boost all the way down, so it's only going to be about 10 pounds of boost. And we'll see what it does. Alright. And like always, this is going to be the end of the video, but I will explain to you, well, I'll show you guys the result of this. So internal temps are at 168. This is an open diff, but we definitely did leave some black marks. Let's try another one. So we're at 141, it's climbing, just sitting still. Shut it off. And 10 bucks says it's like boiling over right now. Yep, I can hear it. It's already doing it. Right there. I don't know, you guys got a cool little show. I left some pretty dark black marks. Still got plenty of tire left. That's cool. These tires are pretty shot anyways. I eventually do want to upgrade these tires, go like 17s, and then kind of use these all for drift spares. But yeah, it's no bueno. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think is actually going on. I believe, I don't know, because the original tank wasn't vented either, unless it had a vented cap. If it had a vented cap, then that probably is what's going on. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Give me a hand in this so I can actually drive this car without worrying about it overheating and blowing up. And you guys stay different. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. Check out my website to get some Gotti's Garage merch to help me with this build, because here soon, I don't know how soon, probably by the end of the month, we're going to be doing the rear brake caliper upgrade. So try to get this car a little bit more track ready, and then who knows.